Welcome to the Spotlight Series. I'm your host, Scott Nerney. We're at the Queeson Inn Tuesday night. Don't forget to share this publication with someone you love, someone you like, more people that you don't like. We are happy to get this out there. Subscribe. We'd love to get more people to listen to stories like broadcasting and comedy royalty. I'm going to say he'll deny it, but Dave Kane.
My heavens. I'm only here to apply for the job. I was told I could apply for the fill-in host here.
Absolutely.
And when I saw the gig that you had and how easy this was, I said, this is for me. It's really terrific. So I thought maybe I guess not.
I'm concerned. Okay. I have vacation coming up, and it's going to be all over. Yeah.
Your job is safe, believe me.
Welcome to the Spotlight Series. We're honored to have you here. For those who haven't followed your career, give us a little background of yourself.
Okay, first of all, I'm thrilled that they actually found somebody to host who was my one listener.
Absolutely.
You're the one that
many times.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I've been in broadcasting since I was 14, radio and television, and then of course I do stage. I've been fired from some of the finest radio stations in New England, mostly due to my talk radio persona, I guess. And I've had a great time. I've had more fun than my audiences, and that's pretty much the basic. I started doing stand-up comedy in the 80s with Frank O'Donnell and Charlie Hall and those guys from Periwinkles, and then moved on and did some other. And then I developed two one-man comedy shows, and that's what I'm doing now.
And does a lot of your comedy come straight from the hip? Is it kind of prepared?
Well, no. I have two shows that I'm doing offering now. One is called Misgivings. It's an evening with an Irish Catholic priest, Father Patrick Aloysius Misgivings. Father Misgivings is an old Irish priest, but he holds bingos, but he calls the numbers out in Latin so the Protestants can't win.
Nice.
There's a collection, a raffle, a bingo game, very cool, very respectful to the church, and a lot of fun. And then I have a relatively newer show called Jokes My Irish Father Told Me. I'll bet you can't guess how that goes, right? It's just a lot of fun. And I just have a really good time. And I only work for nonprofits, charities.
And one of the things that people probably know you a little bit about and are very thankful for, we're right across the street from the Station Fire Memorial, and I know that touched you gravely and deeply.
Yes, it did. Our son Nicky was the youngest victim. He was 18. Nicky was a writer, a composer, a singer, an actor, a comedian, a playwright. He wrote a play a year before he died called They Walk Among Us. The play is about teenagers who die and come back as angels. And beginning the day after the fire, we were getting signs from Nicky that he was alive spiritually and well. And it has been going on now for 20 years.
And that's you did a published movie about that, kind of a documentary?
We have a documentary called 41. It's a terrific documentary. It shows Nicky from when he's very little. The 41 number, Nicky had a thing for the number 41. He'd get in the car with me, he'd say, Dad, look, it's 241. We'd say a license plate. Dad, 41, 41. And he didn't know why 41. We didn't know why 41. His brother Chris tried to help him. We did numerology, and 41 translates to 5, and 5 is a great number, I'm told, in numerology. Well, when Nicky passed, he was 18 and 23 days, 41. The station nightclub is at latitude 41.41. The fire call box at the station is 4414. And on the cover of my book is a sketch Charlie Hall did of Nicky from a videotape we found a year after he passed. And in the videotape, his mom's holding him. He's about 4 months old. He has a little baseball uniform on, and the number on the cap is 41.
Wow.
And we have been getting signs, not just around 41. We've got music and feathers and happenings. Just been terrific stuff. They're letting us know that our loved ones who passed don't go anywhere. They're with us. They love us. Just like you wouldn't leave them, they're not leaving you. And that's what all of this is about. That's what the book is about, to let people know that their loved ones are with them. Not to miss them, not to say I lost them, just to enjoy still really having them.
And I'd like to pay a little honor to Nicky and 41. I think we have a little clip we could show.
Oh, cool. Great. Terrific.
Hello, I'm Nicky O'Neill.
For those of you who don't know who are watching behind the music, Shrine was a band I used to be in before I became famous. Just kidding.
This one's called Everything Else. Help me sing it.
Nikki was, by far, probably the most talented person I'd ever met.
Hey, Ornella.
We weren't like a stage family. My mom wasn't a stage mom. She never wished him to be a performer.
It is something you must do. Part of his calling was to drive authority figures crazy.
I wouldn't say love-hate, more like love-beat.
I think of him as a brat, and I told his mother that.
I wish I didn't have to live with him.
And I can remember him saying to me, "Mom, there's so much music in my head. I don't know what to do with it. My head is full of music."
You're still my little girl.
And I used to tell him, "Nick, just write it down. Wherever we are, just write it down. Get it out, get it out, get it out."
My phone rang, and a friend called and said, "Did you hear about the station fire?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "I don't know how to tell you this, but Nick O'Neill was there and he hasn't come home."
Nicky was my best friend, my closest companion, and he and I were side by side for all those years, inseparable.
For his entire life, I videotaped everything, and I just felt compelled to do that. And now I think I understand why that was.
After the fire, all of a sudden I remembered that I had this play that he wrote. It was amazing to read this play.
It was like an open doorway into this whole world that I'd never known that I hadn't been a part of.
The legacies that some people leave behind. Do we really ever know anyone that's around us? No matter how close we are to them. So often things have been found after a person's passing, where their message has become even more clear.
He sent it to me to read. I wrote back with some critique of it, and all he wrote back was, "You didn't get it. You didn't get what I was trying to tell you."
Turn on the radio, all I hear is static. When you're in that place, it's automatic. Oh, 'cause you seem lost. Cars keep flying down the road I need to cross. Sometimes things just fall apart, aging slowly in your heart. Sometimes we end up all alone. Oh my darling, please take me back home.
Very, very strong. I'm really happy you did it, and I'm sure Nick is as well.
Well, thank you. It's a terrific movie. Christian De Resendes, a famed
was here on the wave, yeah.
videographer here, a terrific producer and writer. He and Nikki's brother Christian, the two Christians put this together, and they did a great job. And people are moved by it, as you know. And I'm thrilled that we have that to show everybody.
Okay. And now you have embarked taking a little bit of your comedy and bringing that to help nonprofits. So explain to us a little bit about Just for Funds.
I've changed all of my appearances only for nonprofits. I only appear for charities or nonprofits. I don't do general public stuff, you know, and things. Churches, KFCs, Elks Clubs. And over the years, I've developed this concept I call Just for Funds. Now, I don't have to tell you, Scott, I know you know this, but when people who are involved in a charity or an organization want to raise funds, first thing they got to decide what they're going to do. So they got to get a hall, they got to pay the deposit for the hall, and then they want to get a meal, so they got to pay the deposit for the meal, and then they want to get entertainment. You got to pay a deposit for the entertainment, and then you got to hope that you sell enough tickets to cover everything before you ever make any money. Well, I came up with this idea that I brought to the Carriage Inn in North Kingstown, and they loved it, and they've partnered with me to do Just for Funds. And this is how it works. You're a charity. You want to put on a show. You want to make some money. So you come to the Carriage Inn, and we give you the hall, the food, and the entertainment, all for one price per meal. Then you add money to that to make your money. Now you have what they call a drop-dead date, and you have to sell a minimum of 40 tickets. If you sell those 40 tickets, we do the show. You might sell 50 or 60. The room holds about 100. So let's say we sell 60 tickets, and you make money, Carriage Inn makes money, I get paid, everybody's happy. But if you don't sell those 40 tickets by a drop-dead date, it's over. You don't owe anybody anything. So there's no risk to the nonprofit for wanting to raise the money.
That's amazing.
It really works wonderfully. The Carriage Inn has done something. It's been very hard to find a restaurant to get this concept and to want to participate. And so we're starting to book already. And it's very simple. Just pick up the phone, you call them, and tell them what you'd like to do. They'll give you a date. I even supply the flyer for your. Now they have a choice of the two shows, either Misgivings or just Jokes my father told me, and they go out and see how they make out. And if they don't sell 40 tickets, and it's tough to get 40 tickets to want to see me, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
but if they sell 40 tickets, we do the show. Everybody has fun, and the charity gets helped, and that's the purpose of it.
But the Carriage Inn food is fantastic. So it may be easier to sell 40 tickets, as you're saying.
For the food, absolutely.
For the food, yeah.
You could eat and go. That would be good. You could just
I bet a lot of
finish
people
meal.
do that.
Oh, several.
Are you
Sometimes-
watching from behind the curtain?
Well, you know,
How
in the
many
old
people
days
left?
in my show, what I used to do is I let people in for free, charge them to get out. Easiest way to do it.
Smart, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I've been very, very lucky. I've been very happy. I've done hundreds and hundreds of shows and performed for thousands of Catholics with the Misgiving show and other organizations too. And the joke show, my wife bugged me to put this joke show together because I had been to Misgivings some places 3 times over the. I've only been doing that show for about 35 years. So
That's all. Yeah.
I'm trying to get it down now. And my wife bugged me to say, come on, you should do the things with your father. Because I always said, I'd say, oh, that reminds me of my father. He told me a story once. And my father, no matter what happened, he'd have a story. He'd have a joke for it. You'd open the fridge, you go, now that reminds me of one time when a guy, and he'd say some joke. And that's what the show is. It's fun.
I think it's really fantastic what you're doing because, to kind of come back to your other point of, I want to do something as a charity. I'm going to lay out $600, $700, $800, and now I got to find someone who's going to do food. Is there a kitchen in the place? And some of the ones that I've talked to, it's just not feasible. They'd rather take the likely $400 or $500 loss and put it in their own business. Where you're able to kind of take that away.
Well, it relieves the risk. This is the most important part. I mean, people are trying so hard to do something good for somebody else, and they don't know what to do. And a lot of times people don't know how to put on these events. The Carriage Inn has done it for years. I've performed for years in these events, and it's all done for them. And like I said, including the publicity, we give them a flyer that says everything on there they need to promote their show. And it's starting to really move. And I'm really excited about it. And I was really thrilled when the Wave asked me to be on because I want to get this story out to everybody.
I think it needs to be. There's so many great charities in the state, and in some cases, just a couple of $100s to a charity. If everybody has a good time, they get entertained, they get a good meal, that charity just makes a couple $100.
Yeah.
That can be night and day. Sometimes
Yeah.
paying their electric bill, or if it's one of the animal shelters that we have, getting a surgery or feeding animals.
Right, and they don't have to worry about making it. I mean, this is the key, and it came to me a lot of years ago, and it took me really a long time. I pitched this to a place that had an event hall, and I pitched it to them, and they didn't quite grasp it. And finally, I got Carriage in, and they love it, and they're very supportive.
So where do people get more information?
They can go to carriageindining.com.
Okay.
That's simple. Carriage and Dining. And at the top it says Just for Funds. Click on the Just for Funds page, and actually goes to my webpage and explains all the details like I just did. People can look at it and think about it, because it takes people a few seconds to figure out what this is about. It's very different, and so
is the Carriage Inn, is it a specific room where?
Yeah, they have a room. Yeah, okay. They have a function room. Oh, now the other point I didn't make, by the way, I should have, is that we do this on an off night, what they call an off night.
Oh, great.
Well, I designed it so that something that came up with, so that the restaurant doesn't, a lot of times, I don't want to, I might have a wedding that night,
right.
Somebody might want a bar mitzvah that night, whatever it is. And so I said, well, let's do it, say, Sunday through Thursday nights. So it's got to be an off night, but it doesn't matter, because we do the shows early. The meals at 6 o'clock, shows at 7. You're out of there by 8:30.
Kind of like the senior discount.
Huh?
Kind of like the senior discount.
Yeah, exactly.
At that time.
Senior, right. and you're home in time to get ready for work the next day.
Yeah.
So it's not a late night. I think we've covered a lot of problems that you have when you're trying to do something like this, or when you want to attend something like this. It's a Saturday. My cousin's wedding is Saturday, and I can't go to this. Very few people have something during the week.
And the charity's not spending till 11:30 at night, picking up, cleaning,
all
sweeping
done
the
for
floors,
them. Everybody
trash.
finishes. Everybody leaves. The Carriage in, cleans everything up. It covers all of the facets. And I ran this by the way. I ran this by people who had owned restaurants, to say, okay, tell me what's wrong with this concept. What did I not think of? And they all had come back to me and said, oh no, this is great. This covers everything. So I'm really it's called Just for Funds. Very simple, and it's at the Carriage Inn in North Kingstown. Just go to their carriageindining.com. And I'm hoping they will. Just check it out and see.
Yeah.
Give it a try. Oh, and the other thing is, you can do it more than once. I mean, you could do one show and then do the other show. There might be nights when a group of people couldn't get that night.
Sure.
Do another one. So it's an ongoing effort.
Or even a couple of small charities could get together with each other.
Absolutely.
If I'm in one city and I have another charity that's nearby, pool your resources, because I might be able to get 40. They might be able to get 40, but together, if we can get 60 to 80, what a great benefit.
Yeah. It's really been good, and people are recognizing it now once they get the hang of it and realize there's no tricks to it. There's no, by the way, there's also a double fee for this, or none of that. It's what we.
It's not a Rhode Island thing.
No, not a Rhode Island.
I don't need to know a guy. I got the guy.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, I got 2 guys waiting for me outside, so I don't know. I might be in trouble.
Oh, God, you're taking care of them instead of me.
I know. Right.
Well, it's been a pleasure having you here. I'm so glad you're embarking on your now kind of third career doing this, extension of your second and first.
It's really extension between the talk radio and everything else. I mean, it's been a lot of fun. And I'm hoping that people will just remember Just for Funds. Check it out, and we'll have a good time. And I want to thank you, Scott.
Sure.
Don't forget now my phone number. If you're going to go on that vacation, I want to sit in the other chair.
Come on, you can sit on this side.
No.
All right, we'll let you stay there.
All right.
And we'll just switch the cameras around.
There you go. That'd be great.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
It's an honor talking to you. Thank you.